Mourinho was jumping up and down on that touchline, doing the histrionics that Klopp was, the media would be going, bang, look at Mourinho. Klopp, because he's got a $64 million smile and everyone likes him, gets away with it. I do think there's a little bit of bias in certain sectors of the media.
You are joking, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
You
I'm
are
being
joking.
deadly serious.
But it's a results-driven business.
Yeah.
Liverpool won, Tottenham lost.
Okay,
That's the story.
So I could advance the other argument, which is you show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser. Right? Mourinho is conditioned, built, and doubles down on wanting to be the very best. Right? Liverpool are 5 years in the making. Right? This side that you're now seeing, which is incredibly impressive, the intensity they put out in the first half was almost irrepressible, in terms of Tottenham's ability to be able to, repel it at times. But this is 1 year into Mourinho's tenure, and the sea change in Tottenham Hotspur, the allegation that anyone can bring the word Spursy into the conversation with Tottenham anymore is for the birds. Mourinho's mentality is that he is in the business of promoting Tottenham Hotspur. He is the business of putting his best foot forward. And to be quite honest with you, Spurs ceded possession to Liverpool for large proportions of that game. They changed the direction of the game in the second half when they put it back on Liverpool. They had probably the slightly better chances. Liverpool were the better side. Liverpool are the better side. But
well, there you go then.
But Mourinho's perspective of saying, in his view, the way he saw the game, he doesn't have to. These football managers aren't elegant with one another just because it looks like they are. They aren't, as a matter of course. They'll run around. They'll run around trying to get one another's jobs.
What other manager would go up to his counterpart at full time and say, "We were better than you"?
What other manager has achieved what Mourinho's achieved?
That's not what I asked.
I don't give a monkeys what other managers would do. I'm looking at what Mourinho does because I think Mourinho is unique. Mourinho's achievements, Mourinho's roster of honours, separates him from other people. Mourinho is a unique, dividing character that creates an opinion that is always there. You're never ambivalent towards Mourinho. And what I was infuriated with, because I watched that game, was the level of journalism after it.
Oh, here we go.
Let me just run it through for a second. Mourinho turned around and I was asked a question, and he's one of these managers that gives you an authentic answer, which we always want. We don't want this dial-in and it's a game of two halves. We want an authentic answer. He said, I told Klopp that we were the better side. Went back to the journalists. The first question they asked Jurgen Klopp was, Mourinho's told us that he had a go at you. When you two spoke, he had a go at you about your antics. He didn't do that at all. He didn't say that. And even Klopp turned around and said, he didn't say that. My English must be isn't that bad. He said to me that the better team had lost. I looked at that level of journalism and thought, is there an agenda here against the way that Mourinho is represented in the media?
You've been hooked on, haven't you?
No.
You've been hooked on. There's an agenda.
No, I'm hugely critical.
I'm
hugely critical of the notion that he had at Manchester United, that he was the biggest victim. He was dark. He was miserable. He didn't stay in a house up there. He didn't base himself up there. He wanted to be in London. All of that was fair game.
I don't really want to do this, but I'll do it. Why on earth would there be an agenda in the media towards Mourinho? Now, think of that. Think of your answer. Why would there be an agenda in the media against Mourinho?
Because Mourinho divides opinion, because Mourinho had the audacity to come into this game and say, I'm a special one, and then go and prove it. Because we love in this country the ability to build people up and knock them down.
The media loved that.
And they did, but they waited for Mourinho, and they waited for Mourinho to be unsuccessful.
No, they didn't.
His character...
No, they didn't.
Hang on, you're asking me a question, you can't answer it for me. Right? His character divides people's opinions. He is a unique product of a game that often lacks authenticity and lacks characters. Whether you like him or you don't like him, whether you disagree with him or you agree with him, what you get from Mourinho is what Mourinho means a lot of the time. What you got from Mourinho was a press conference that was absolutely brilliant. I'm sick to the back teeth of hearing Klopp telling me how many injuries he's got. I think it's interesting for Mourinho to push back and go, well, let's have a look at your players and how many you've got available. I think he's box office. I think he brings a level of interest to the game that supersedes the standard as a game of two half mentality that we've had to listen to for years, right? But I also think he's not always right all the time. And I do think there's an agenda. If Mourinho was jumping up and down on that touchline, doing the histrionics that Klopp was, the media would be going, bang, look at Mourinho. Klopp, because he's got a $64 million smile and everyone likes him, gets away with it. I do think there's a little bit of bias in certain sectors of the media.
You are joking, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
You
I'm
are
being deadly
joking.
serious.
But, I mean, have you forgotten Mourinho running down the touchline when Porto won it at Old Trafford?
16 years ago, right?
Have you forgotten Mourinho at Chelsea walking along the touchline at Anfield?
16 years ago.
Pumping his chest.
16 years ago, Mourinho did something for Porto, right? That was part and parcel of a commodity that we didn't realise and recognise in a football manager, right? But now we're talking about the way that he operates, and if he does it now, right, he will be castigated because of the perception of Mourinho. If Klopp does it, everyone goes, well, it's fair game. And I'm a Klopp admirer.
Yeah.
I am a Klopp admirer.
Yeah.
I think he's an outstanding coach.
That is utter nonsense. There's
In your view,
no agenda against Mourinho.
Well,
Why would there be?
Is there an
but
agenda?
don't you think the first thing that Mourinho says to Klopp is that we were the better side?
But in
the better side lost.
So
the better side lost. Surely that is a
view,
complete lack of class.
In his view, well, class is all relative to the perception that you want to have a look at how you look at class through a certain set of eyes. You know, class is temporary, you know, whatever the other form is temporary, class is permanent. I understand that notion. But if Mourinho genuinely believes, after watching that game, after watching Liverpool get lucky with an 89th minute header, when really and truly they dominated a proportion of the game, they got 77% possession. A lot of it was a possession that didn't do a lot of harm. They very rarely got behind Tottenham. Tottenham had the 3 best chances. Tottenham, the Dutch boy should have scored 2 goals. Harry Kane missed a sitter.
Yeah, should have, would have.
I know it should have, would have. But
it's 2-1.
But you're asking me why Mourinho is adopting this attitude, because he believes he set his team up. His team are 4 years behind in the development that Liverpool have enjoyed. Right, and in a year, he's changed his team to such a level that he believes ceding possession to Liverpool for the entire first half did a job. They had one attack, bang, goal, clinical, end of the first half. Came out in the second half, took it to Liverpool. Liverpool didn't look anything like they did in the first half for the first 20 minutes. Spurs had 2-3 goal-scoring opportunities that were almost copper-bottomed. Right?
Yeah.
And Liverpool get a header in the 89th minute. I think it's within the realms of Mourinho to say, I think, given my plan for my side, the better side lost. But the better side, as a footballing operation...
But why say it at all to Klopp?
Because you're in the heat of an emotion. You're in the heat.
How about congratulations?
Well, Jim, how about someone speaks as they want to, rather than... Okay, you're in the media. You now have an agenda to tell Mourinho how we should congratulate or not congratulate someone. How about he does what he wants?
This was Liverpool who beat Tottenham, who, in many people's eyes, Harry Redknapp being one, are serious title contenders. Harry thinks that they're going to win the title. Oh, you think they're going to win the title?
No, I think they're serious contenders. I think if you don't think... No, I'm not sure they're going to win the title because Liverpool are such a formidable side. What I saw from Liverpool in the first 45 minutes was sometimes awe-inspiring because the intensity of that team is, as I said, irrepressible. It is unbelievable. It's wave after wave. But Tottenham repelled it and they got a spawny first goal, right? And Tottenham, they never got behind Tottenham for the entirety of the first half, besides having all this domination. Tottenham, one attack, bang, goal.
Yeah.
That is a brand of football that you might not like, but by Christ is it effective.
I mean,
and
you
they
have to
were
remember,
unlucky, Tottenham.
This is Liverpool without Joe Gomez. This is Liverpool without Virgil
So
van Dijk.
what?
You know,
they've had 5 years in making. They've got a big squad. Tottenham are 1 year under the making of Jose Mourinho. They haven't had the money that Klopp has got. Hold on a second. Give credit where credit's due.
one thing Mourinho does is split opinion, and the messages are flying in. Joe, Mourinho is and always will be a spoilt little brat. Don't be surprised when he acts that way. Steve from Hartford. Josie's right. Klopp spends the entire game berating officials and acting very aggressively with no punitive action.
It's about 10 messages here concurring with my set of thinking and one concurring with yours, Jimbo.
Dave Francis is out there, and I'll read it. Of course I will. Dave, good morning to you. Simon, spot on regarding Mourinho and the way Klopp acts. Jim White is on the side of Klopp. No, I'm not. I'm not on anybody's side here. I'm not on anybody's side. But what I am suggesting is, was it appropriate for Mourinho to say to Klopp, right on the final whistle, that the better side lost on the night? Is that really what he should say at that? Does that not demonstrate a lack of class there and then? Does he not regularly let himself down in moments like this?
I tell you when he let himself down, when he poked his finger in the eye of that Barcelona coach.
Oh, that was
I thought that was a bit beyond the pale.
Yeah.
But I think in this moment, when you're watching some demented jumping up in a box, you know, Jack in the Box Klopp doing everything he can to influence the fourth official, and you're getting a little bit irritated by it. At the end of the game, when your emotion's most prevalent, he just turned around and made a comment. And he had the courage of his convictions to turn around when asked and have the honesty to say, this is what I said. And you've got to admire that. You've got to say, whether you like it or you don't, whether you agree with it or not, You've got some balls, my friend. Someone asks you a question, you give them an answer.
Well,
isn't that what we want?
Let's put it out there. Oh, that's too far, isn't it? Spurs Andro. Jim, you used to be my favourite on the radio. Move over. Simon's the man. Look at that. Spurs Andro's just going right
he's
off
one
me.
saying, Jordan, you're talking absolute twaddle. So
well, that's more like it. But is it rich? Is it not a bit rich for Jose Mourinho to be commenting on others' dugout antics? Is it not a bit rich? And last night, saying what he said to Klopp, does it not demonstrate something of a lack of class? Let us know. 08717 223344 81089.